was me. Somebody saying they couldn't hear us.
Question is, the last thing they see it.
It's a 30-second delay, so. Well, we got audio right now from the laptop.
We do?
Yep.
So they can hear us now.
Yes.
I can put away my technical difficulties. Please stand by sign.
Yes.
All right, let's try this again. No, what do they say? A plan is always good until the battle starts or something like that. So, anyway, here we are, Fred, now that they can hear us. We're meeting here actually in my barn. This is where a lot of the magic happens here. We just thought it'd be fun to get together, and we were talking last week Wednesday, and thought it'd be fun to chat. So how's this whole virus thing treating you, Fred?
Well, it's been interesting, Clay. You know, we got the dimension of home, right?
Yep.
Work, church, they all get mixed together, and we're just trying to figure it out like everybody else, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So have you been practicing social distancing and staying away from people?
Most people.
Good. Well, I think, once again, I think we're
How far are we apart, Clay?
doing our best here. Well, I'm reading 6 feet on the button for anybody playing along at home. So we figured just in case we better have that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we thought it'd be fun to get together with us and chat and have a few guests come on and just kind of see questions that are popping up that anybody has and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how about you, Clay? What's been going on in your life?
Not a whole lot. Just been doing all my lessons from school. This actually is my recording studio for my classroom lessons as well. So my students are getting to know the wall back there pretty good. So I've knocked out a whole bunch of those, put together some devotionals for my kids, videos, things like that.
You got a lot of those taped?
Yeah, yep. What I do is I pre-tape everything, and then I store it up on the platform we use, and then each morning at 9 o'clock or a little before, I kick the lesson out to them so they can start school at 9. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah. So how's have you had any issues with hoarding? Any problems with needed supplies?
We have not dealt with that. Fortunately, we had some toilet paper.
We did too. My wife, it could just be her brilliant forethought, but she picked up like 2 24-packs like a week before this whole thing went down. So
You haven't used those yet?
no, we're in good shape.
Good.
We are right on time. So but it's been going good. I am not hoarding much. I actually, when they told us we were going on lockdown, I'm not going to lie, I began hoarding fishing bait.
Really?
Yes, because I figured if they're going to lock us down, I'm not going to have bait at the bait shop. So I actually ran all over the place on Monday and picked up bait.
So he's closer to the mic.
Okay, cool. We're gonna switch it
You're a
up.
little louder, so.
I am without a doubt.
Here, take your
My ears?
I need my
Your questions and your tape measure. Don't forget your tape measure.
There we go.
Should I talk a little quieter?
No,
I realize that I am.
Nope.
I am pretty loud.
That won't work.
Yeah.
You are who you are, Clyde.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I kind of started hoarding bait a little bit. I actually have a barrel outside with a bunch of minnows in it,
Okay.
in case I'm able to sneak off. In case I'm able to sneak off to the Detroit River, do a little fishing here once the bite heats up, which will probably be in the next. I think it'll start in the next 2 weeks or so. There is one other thing I've been hoarding just a little bit. When I'm home every day, I figure I might fire up the smoker once in a while. So
That's the real stuff.
I did hoard a little charcoal.
You know what? I could say that we really have not been hoarding anything.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think we've had a need. You know, I tell people I'm a simple man, and right now I don't need a whole lot of anything.
Nice.
So, fortunately,
Good.
that may change.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, what'd you think of the service Sunday?
That was great.
Yeah.
It was so neat to be with people, even though we weren't together physically. Right?
Yeah.
We were able to listen to some good singing, obviously with you lead guitar.
Well, it was fun. I was going to make a comment about the guitarist, but it's kind of funny. We were actually cutting the tree at church when we did this Saturday morning, so I took extra clothes along so I could change. But if anybody noticed, I forgot to take different shoes along, so I had my work boots.
Oh.
I know that at least one person sent me a text about that.
Okay.
So
Really?
yeah, yep. That I noticed that I had work boots on instead of like normal church wear.
You don't normally wear work boots to church?
Not usually. Not ones that have the steel toe showing through. That's I don't know that we necessarily have a dress code, but my wife holds me to certain standards.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
She does.
Speaking of which, she did have to use her her common Christmas break line is just because it's a break from school doesn't mean it's a break from personal hygiene.
Oh.
I have heard that. So in fact I showered just before we did this.
Yes,
So.
and you smell good, Clay.
Thank you.
You
Thank you
really
very
does.
much. Yeah. What's that? Oh, and Eric is running our sound. Eric, you want to pop in and just say
Yeah,
hello?
come on.
Eric is running the technical aspect of everything here.
Yo.
So.
Our broadcast engineer.
It's kind of
Yes.
hard to get these two voices to come through the same, so we're just gonna have Fred just to speak as loud as he can.
Yeah.
That's usually not a problem
I'm
for
a
me.
pretty quiet guy. Right?
Yep.
Speaking of which, have we checked since we moved?
Oh, yeah. Let's
We
see.
switched seats, so we might want to
We
make
should
sure
be
we're.
about the same. 6 foot.
Yeah,
one.
I'm good. I'm actually about 6'1", 6'2" now, so I think we're in good shape. Cool. All right, should we get our first guest on here and see how this
Really?
whole thing's treating
Yeah.
in? Matt Van Dyne is
Matt
going to come in
Van-
here.
Oh, let me get my.
I gotta put my
put
earphones in
earbuds
so I can hear Matt coming in.
I think I only need one of these. Probably.
That could be. Matt, can you hear us?
I can hear you
Oh,
guys.
hey.
How you doing?
Doing well.
Great.
Doing well. How about you?
Good. I can't complain. You know, just living my life. You know, down
Are
here.
you sitting on your comfy couch there at home, Matt?
Yeah, I'm in one of my lazy boys,
Okay.
just rocking.
Nice.
You
So
know?
I said I think what you need is maybe a pipe and a glass of Merlot, and you need to introduce a story to us.
Yeah.
I think that was a PBS thing way back when or something. I don't know.
That could be.
Then
That
you
could be.
read everybody a bedtime story.
I don't know. I think we might lose some of our audience
Jackie
if
says
if I
this
did that.
reminds me of Wayne's World.
You know that did remind me. I was thinking about it. My wife said this reminds her of Wayne's World. Battle Creek had like the greatest, like what do you call it when people can just get on cable and record their own show? Public access. They had the most amazing public. Like you could go down to the Battle Creek, whatever the channel was down there. You could take like a 2-hour class, and you could have your own show on public access. I once watched 2 guys talk about Star Wars for half an hour. Luckily, I was doing something else. I wasn't
Otherwise, you would
fully
enjoy it.
right. So that hopefully that doesn't happen here. So Matt, what are you doing? Are you an essential worker, or are you just sitting home? What are you doing these days?
Yesterday I actually sat home until they were able to figure out who's essential, who's not. But I actually went back to work today.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm working downtown at the wastewater treatment plant project.
Which, let's face
which is-
it, with all this toilet paper that's out there, that's going to be a very important place.
That's essential.
I would assume so. Yep.
So what are you doing down there?
Doing some wiring. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Hooking up some new stuff. Hooking up or I don't know, rewiring some old stuff. I don't know. I get thrown on some stuff outside, and there's a lot of people inside these buildings. So I just work with one other person outside, and we try to keep our distance from each other while we're working.
Yeah,
And
that was going to be my next question. How has this changed the way you're going to work, the way you're working, and what's happening there?
yeah, so at work, we've got a job trailer. Everyone's supposed to sign in the morning. Well, instead of getting 50 or, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 people there, going into the trailer all at once at like 6 o'clock when we start, now it's they have the sign-in sheets outside the trailer, so not everyone's going into one space at a time, and people can kind of keep their distance from each other. They got hand sanitizer stations out there, hand wash stations out there.
Got it.
Just try to be proactive on the situation so that germs aren't
Yeah,
spread.
let's face it, at the wastewater treatment plant, I would hope they would have washing stations all the time.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
man. Eric and I are trying to pull off 6 feet.
And I got flack from someone that I touched Fred earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, man.
I felt it.
I'm glad people are keeping an eye on that stuff. So, Matt, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Cereal. Are you a cereal fan?
I do like cereal. Yep.
Do you think cereal counts as cold soup?
I mean, I never thought about it that way, but I would have to say yes.
What's your favorite
It is.
cereal?
That it varies. Sometimes it's like Honey Bunches of Oats, but right now it's I think it's called Cinnamon Crunch Cheerios,
Oh, wow.
which is really, really good. Like, so good.
I'm not going to lie, cereal is kind of my kryptonite. I actually kind of gave it up because for a lot of years I would eat a bowl of cereal like in a potato serving bowl. Yeah, I didn't use a little light a lot.
Morning, noon, and night?
I would have cereal in the morning, I'd have cereal at night. I love cereal.
Yeah, I have
Lucky
cereal.
Charms has always been my go-to.
Here's the question though: when you're done with the cereal, do you drink the milk?
Oh, yeah. Depending on the cereal, the milk is the best part. Frosted Flakes makes the
yeah.
best milk ever.
That or Cocoa Pebbles.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever try Cocoa Pebbles with chocolate milk?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a winning combination. That's amazing.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So did you say, Clay, that you don't eat cereal anymore?
I really don't because I'm kind of like an alcoholic with my cereal. If I can't do just one bowl, I keep coming back to it. I really like cereal.
I'm going to let my wife know that because she thinks I eat too much at night.
Ah.
Cereal is one of my snacks at night.
Oh yes, well I got to admit, one of the things that I've had to do with this whole thing and being home, I had to create some routines and schedules. So, like for example, in the morning, when I'm at school, I get between 12,000 and 20,000 steps a day. The first day I was here, I think I just broke 4,000. So I actually started getting on the treadmill in the morning. So I get up in the morning, do the treadmill, and then I have some breakfast. But I've tried to watch what I'm eating that night for that same reason. Trying to keep an eye on the whole thing here, so when society collapses, we're ready to roll.
How about you, Matt? What kind of snacks do you eat? Do you have ice cream?
I try to stay away from a lot of snacks at night. If I do, it would be ice cream, but like I love ice cream. It's dangerous. If I start eating it, like it's gone within a few days.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if all the ice cream's gone from Meyer. What do you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't been in there.
No?
I'm not for a little while. Last time I was there, all the flour was gone, sugar was gone, the yeast was gone. I'm in the process of harvesting my own yeast from Oberon beer because Maggie wanted to bake, but we didn't have any yeast, couldn't find any. So I figured, well, I know Oberon is an unfiltered beer, so I took care of the top half, and I'm in the process of harvesting the yeast from the bottom.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Creative.
Well, Matt, I think we're going to call it a night with you here and move on to another guest, if you're good with that.
Yeah, that's fine. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, glad that you joined us.
Yeah, it was great to have you here. It's always good to touch base with somebody down in downtown Moline area. See how the virus is
a
affecting
brother of the
there.
broadcast engineer.
Yeah. Well, take
All
care.
right.
Have a good night,
You
guys.
bet. See you later, Matt.
Matt.
Bye. Well, that was fun. It's kind of interesting to me that, and it makes sense, I guess, that Matt's job would be essential from the idea that, I mean, if you're working at the wastewater treatment plant, there's some things, some construction projects that just can't end.
That's right. They got to keep going.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Oh.
That is fascinating. So what you been doing to take up your time lately, Fred?
Well, I've been tasked to work from home.
Got it.
One of those. We are an essential supplier
Okay.
at work, which is good, but that's a skeleton crew. We got technicians going out, and yeah, so I'm tasked to work from home, and I have to work from my home office.
Okay.
Which I'm getting used to.
Got it. So did you set up a different space, or did you already have a home office?
Yeah, I don't have much of an office. I do most of it on my phone anyway.
Yeah.
So
We have a real office, but Jackie has commandeered that, so now this is my office.
okay. Oh, do we
Hey,
have-
we've got some new guests coming in
No
here.
way.
We've got the
I
Hawksmans
see a whole bunch
coming
of
on
boys
board,
back
the whole
there.
family.
Oh my goodness.
How you guys doing?
Gotta put our buds in again so we can hear you. We're doing well. How about you guys?
We're doing well.
Good.
Wow.
Boys, how are you handling this?
Good.
Good.
We're kind of perfect.
Excellent.
Has your dad been home too?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, most importantly, Robin, how are you handling this?
I'm getting by.
All right. Because I'm afraid if I was surrounded by 4 girls, I might have a different take on this whole thing.
Yeah. We don't have a toilet paper shortage
Oh,
here,
you know.
Good.
but so many boys. We don't use as much.
Oh,
Oh,
good point.
you just
I
tell them
never
to go
even thought
outside.
about that. That totally makes sense. So you guys has your dad been making you go out to the woods if you have to do a number 2?
No.
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 There's not enough leaves out there yet.
Oh, that's right. We gotta.
We can bring some over. We've got a whole bunch of
Check
leaves
the
here.
distance.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
We better,
Distance check here.
in
How
case
far?
we're getting in too close here.
Oh, watch out. Go.
Yeah, I'm pulling a good
Oh,
6'1" here.
6 foot. Yep, we're good. We're far enough apart.
All right.
Question: are you 6 feet apart?
I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
I think you boys are a little closer.
Well, you
That's
guys are
okay.
family. You're okay.
Yeah, you're
Fred and I aren't family, so we have to stay 6 feet.
We're brothers.
Brother, absolutely.
We're brothers.
Oh man, so Ed, what are you doing these days? Are you considered essential or not?
Well, we are not sending anybody out in the fields into the stores because the greeting cards are not essential.
Okay.
But I will be going to work tomorrow and taking these 3 with me.
Oh.
They're going to be doing school in the office.
Nice.
I do some work at the office.
So you're gonna be the
Nice.
teacher?
Robin will be going to the township tomorrow as well.
Got it. So I'm assuming at least some parts of Robin's job are considered essential, right?
Yeah, so we have a May election, so we'll start sending ballots soon.
Okay. So you're getting all that together?
Yep.
Got it. Lucas, how's school going? How is this online thing working out for you?
Pretty good.
Good. Are you getting lots of homework or about average or not much homework?
Not much really.
Got it? Is that Tommy right in the middle?
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, what are you doing these days?
Doing a lot of homework.
Lots of homework.
So, Tommy, tell me about your day. When you wake up in the morning, how does your day go? What does it look like?
Eat breakfast and go outside sometimes.
You have a lot of cereal for breakfast, Tommy?
Do you have
Did
cereal?
you hear that Mr. Lovers eats a lot of cereal?
Me too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of cereal, Tommy?
No, I don't eat a lot of cereal.
Thomas doesn't like cereal.
Got it.
All right.
Is it a
He
texture?
likes cinnamon toast, where you take the toast, put butter, and put sugar and cinnamon on it.
Ooh, nice. Nice. Nathan, how's school going for you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Are you getting a lot of homework?
Average amount.
So what's average? Is average like 30 minutes or 2 hours or 6 hours?
It's like probably in the middle, like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Got it.
Oh my goodness.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Lovers isn't your teacher by chance, is he?
No.
Oh, that's good.
He teaches middle school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you can hardly wait to get to middle school.
Well, I'll be looking for a home. I think I might be looking for a home for my snake for a while here.
Nathan would love that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I was wondering that. It kind of has to be like a family deal there when it comes to that.
I don't know about Lily.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'd have to keep my distance away from my gecko.
Yep. Ah, very
All right,
cool.
hey, we got a question for the Hawksmiths, okay? Robin is probably the one that's the most concerned about this. Now, when you put a new toilet paper roll on, do you put it over or under?
Over.
Over. All right, well, that's the way it's going to be, guys. All right, and don't forget to
Let's face it, I think anybody that lives right, it comes over.
Yeah.
I don't know where these under people come from, but that should not be a part of modern civilized society.
Okay. Well, you know what? Mrs. Hawksmith rules the house over there, and she's the boss.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, guys, do you guys like hot dogs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
It's more of a hoagie than a sandwich.
Well, it does have the bread.
Or would you call it a taco?
Taco.
I
call it a taco.
I have no clue.
We call them hot dogs here.
Okay.
Got it. I was just curious how you'd classify it into as a sandwich or as a taco, because it's, like a taco shape.
It is probably a sandwich.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you've got meat between two pieces of bread in there, right?
Yeah.
So who does all the cooking at your house? Does your dad do the cooking?
Sometimes our dad.
When we have hot dogs.
Oh, yeah, hot dogs. That's good.
When Robin is gone, Dad makes hot dogs. She doesn't like them. The boys love them.
Okay.
Got it.
So what kind of hot dogs do you have? Do you have all beef? Or do you have, what do you have? Do you know?
We look for all beef, and the key ingredient is cheese on top of the hot dog.
Oh,
Nice.
chili as
Very
well?
nice.
For me, just for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Me.
So you dress it up. So boys,
Yeah.
let me ask you this question. How is life different right now than it was 2 weeks ago? Besides school.
Probably that we don't have as much things to do as one.
Got it. So what are you doing to take up your time?
Mostly playing outside
Outside.
doing basketball.
Oh,
Ah, good for
Yeah.
you. It's good to get out there, and I can
Yeah.
tell you from the science perspective, viruses and germs do not like sunlight. So a day like today, it is fantastic to be outside.
What else did we do today?
Jennifer DeGood says Ethan and Marcus say hi to the Hawksmiths.
Ah,
oh.
Ethan and Marcus say hello. I don't know if you guys heard Eric say that.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi,
Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
We miss
Hey,
you.
the goods.
Hey, did you guys know who our broadcast engineer is?
No.
Now, you better step on front of the
Come on.
camera here again.
Yeah.
Our people have to
You
see
gotta
that.
keep your, there you go.
Eric is our broadcast engineer.
Yeah,
He's the one
so
that
I-
makes all the magic happen here.
Check my distance.
Oh,
Yep. Oh,
let's see.
yeah. Let me.
I want to make sure it's 6 feet.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Should I go back one
A
more?
little more. There you go.
Alright.
Now we got you at about
Well,
6'2".
we need another
Okay.
tape to have a
That's
slide.
about right. Yeah, I'll step to the side and you can slide through here as we
I
go.
think I'm okay. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
Don't
You're
touch
there. You're
anybody.
there.
All right. There we go. We're back.
All measured out. So have either one of you been to the store lately or not?
No.
I went on Monday on my way home from work and got, another cart full of groceries so we don't run out.
Ah, yes. What were the conditions?
Starting to get picked over. It was busy.
Did you go after 11 a.m.?
Yeah, I was there about 4:30.
Oh, so that was in the heat after Whitmer's announcement.
Yes.
I was in the stores a few times last week, and I found it interesting. You have a different feel about being in a store right now. And also, a few of the shoppers, as I was doing my work, they were going by with a little more intent.
Oh.
Oh!
Hey,
Tell us about your friend, Nathan.
We've had him for almost we probably had him for a year and a half maybe, and ever since So the back is like fake bark, and then it started to lean forward, and he would go back there.
Oh,
Did you
wow.
tell them what it was, in case they don't know?
What?
What is your animal?
What kind of
What is-
lizard is he?
He is a crusty gecko.
Excellent. What's his
Gecko.
name?
His name is Krusty.
Oh, does he
Oh, that is
do,
perfect.
does he do TV commercials?
No. Good.
That's a distant relative.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Probably a cousin. Did you know that Clay and I are cousins?
Mm.
No, we're not really.
We're not actually.
No, not really.
Sometimes Mr. Birdsville likes to pull your leg a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I
it's
think
got-
we need to kind of wrap it up
It's got to be
here.
close to bedtime, right, guys?
No.
Not
really.
Yeah. So what is bedtime at the Hoxma household during the COVID-cation?
Usually it's
8:39.
yeah, 8:30 through 9.
Got it. Got it.
All space
Trying to
15
keep
minutes
a
apart.
schedule.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good
I
idea.
understand that.
I support that.
We've been trying the same thing, but 8:30 or 9 is not working out as well at the Luggers household.
Oh. That's when you go to bed, Clay?
Yeah, that's what I try, but I have to keep these kids going till.
All right.
Guys, that's so
Okay,
close.
back up.
Well, good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thanks for
stepping
joining
in
us
to visit with us.
See you
Yeah.
later.
Hey.
See you
Thanks,
later.
guys.
Take good care of your mom. All right.
Bye bye. See you, Johnny. Well, that was good to talk to the
You
Hoxmas.
bet. You bet.
Seems like things are going
Yeah,
well
I didn't
over
see-
there.
I
That's
didn't
a
see
busy
much
house.
blood on the floor, did you?
No, they seem to be getting along. That's fantastic.
No broken ribs?
No, it looks good from there so far.
Wow.
That was good to see.
3 boys.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how different people are handling this whole situation.
Yeah.
You know, I'd imagine when you've got kids like that, it's going to be a lot more. I mean, you're going to have to figure out a lot more activities for them to do,
Yep.
right? It's going to be a
Yep.
lot trickier to figure that out. So,
Be creative, right?
yeah,
Some
absolutely.
people are more creative than others.
They're still not live, so.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it's got to be a little tricky around here. You know, my Christian, he's a gamer. He loves to game. So we've been working on making sure he gets outside,
Okay.
get a little exercise, making sure Maggie gets outside.
Okay.
I've been, like I said, I've been on the treadmill here and there, trying to just make sure we're doing stuff. In fact, today I actually did a little fishing. Took some of my bait that I have here and went out to Holland to Lake Macatawa to see if we could get some perch.
A lot of people out there?
Yeah, there were probably 30 boats all in one area right there, but nobody was really getting anything.
Okay.
I didn't have any luck.
Is that
So
close to the channel then, or out by the mouth?
actually, probably about 1.5 miles back from the channel. So that was good.
Oh, look who's
Hey,
here!
we got
Oh,
the
my
goods.
goodness. Better put our ears in.
But yeah, I got to be able to hear you guys over there.
I think they're dressed in green. What do you think?
I don't know. It makes me kind of sad. How's it going there, guys?
Going good. How are
Going
you?
well.
Good.
Put my Sunday best on for you.
I can see that, and it makes me a little sad.
You're not going to have the rest of your children enjoying this time?
We invited them all. They liked to run in, giggle at the screen, and then they ran out.
Okay.
Got
All
it.
right. Okay.
We'll see if that happens there.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys: how has this thing changed? What goes on for you guys?
Well, my calendar that I nicely wrote out is moot. There's just nothing on it.
Really?
Oh, throw that one in the trash can.
I'm saving gas.
Yeah. Well, us too. I realized that the other day. We're not using gas at all, hardly.
Right.
Fascinating. How about you, Bill?
So I've been working at home now for all of last week, starting Tuesday, and then all of this week.
Okay.
And I'm happy to report we have not signed up for marriage counseling yet.
Wow.
Good.
So I think that's pretty much my measure of success right now.
I think that's a pretty, given the situation, that is a pretty good measure of success. We'll see if Jackie and I, we might be meeting with Pastor Doug here before this thing is over. You know, virtually, of course, not face to face.
Right.
So are you actually in an office at home then, Bill, or what?
It's actually this room here. So
Okay.
we've, since Sienna moved out, we redid this room. We kind of turned it into a game room and TV room for the kids with a couch, and we have this special coffee table that flips up a big portion and acts like a desk. So I've been sitting at that with a dining room chair.
Okay.
My butt's sore at the end of the day, but it keeps me awake.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're in that office, what, close to 8 hours or what?
Yeah, I've been coming in, at 8 o'clock, and then, I take a break for lunch, and then I try to wrap up by around 6. I found that's the hardest challenge with a job like I've been doing is with it right there, it's so easy to just kind of keep working and lose track of time. So I popped in after dinner to send a couple more emails out, and then I'm like, all right, I'm done today. I got to just turn it off.
Oh, yeah. So where are you going for lunch these days?
I'm bringing lunch to him most days.
Oh, that is very good.
Specially prepared meals?
I have been well supported.
That is excellent.
I've been preparing a lot of meals. We are eating a lot of food at this house.
Excellent. Have you gone out anywhere and done any pickup, any takeout anywhere?
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
All at home.
You went out for groceries, though.
I went out for groceries on Friday because I'm insane. And yeah.
Okay.
Got it. So what was the store situation when you were there on Friday?
It was pretty crazy. I did my shopping and I did shopping for my grandmother. Meijer was ridiculous. Like there wasn't corn or peas, like canned or frozen, that could be barely found.
Wow.
I found like 12 dented cans of green beans, which was not on her list or mine because I canned my green beans. So that was just crazy. I don't have to. Thankfully, I get pork and I get cow from local farmers here, so I don't have to buy that because the meat section was a joke. But I don't know. It was crazy. I went to Costco. You had to wait like 15 minutes to get in line. And then I get in the store and I do all my shopping because I've got pizza. I did get pizza from Costco. So I did go out for one meal. I forgot about that. And then I got in line and I waited 10 minutes and I barely moved. So I put everything back, got my pizza, and left. So I never even got my Costco order.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's
and they
something.
had you wiping down your cards. They had a person out there with a bullhorn. It was just nuts.
That is amazing. What day was that?
Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Maggie and I.
11:30, 11:45.
Yeah, Maggie and I went there on last Wednesday at probably 11:30 or so, and it was at that point it was no more busy than anything else. Of course, people have probably hadn't started getting concerned about things and freaking out at that point.
Right.
So how are your kids handling this situation?
They've really done really well. We kind of got in the school thing right at the beginning of the week. They kind of know the routine because we have a technology rules in the summer that they follow, so they kind of just knew I was going to do that. They're working on, my olders are working on typing, so we've been spending a lot of time on nitro typing, which is like a typing/racing game.
Got it.
It's kind of cool because now they're like competing and stuff. So.
Oh, that's cool.
But they're doing good. Today we built Rube Goldberg devices.
Nice. Well, I've got to tell you, Fred, Jenny and I are friends on Facebook, and I have been absolutely impressed with everything she's got going on and the way she's sharing resources.
Okay.
You know, it's good for a lot of people because especially schools that are not doing official education. I mean, our kids need to be doing something to keep their brains engaged.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic to see you share that stuff. I love that.
So what kind of stuff are you sharing, Jenny?
The first day I just shared kind of general science links, like businesses like KiwiCo that do that Tinker Crate you see on TV. Like they have links that they're posting. So we made borax crystal geodes out of like eggshells. That was kind of fun. But I posted that and just kind of anything that comes up with stuff that you can do with recycled materials at home, and been kind of posting that stuff too. Just to, I don't know, just something that you can whip together quickly and the kids will enjoy.
Very cool.
Well, hey, have we checked our social distancing?
I don't know. We probably should check that in a minute.
Yeah, I
Make
don't
sure
know
we're
if we've got to verify with
keeping
the
our
grid.
distance here.
And have you heard about our broadcast engineer who's here tonight, working the program?
I'm still on 6 feet.
Yep, come on, Eric.
Is he keeping you in line?
He is.
gonna
He's
slide around
yep.
and
Stay back.
Be really careful.
We gotta check.
Say hello to Eric.
Oh yeah, we're
Eric's
good. You're
the
like
guy.
6 feet.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Eric's running everything here. Fred and I are just the
He's
mouths.
the braids.
For
Yep.
better or worse. Yep.
We're just
Yep.
the eye candy.
Exactly. I like that better than the mouth. We're the eye candy. Kind of like Bill's shirt.
Yeah, you don't think that we're the eye candy, Bill? You don't seem to be too impressed with that.
I gotta tell you, the best part about working at home is so I'm in this front room. I've got a big picture window to our front yard, and for whatever reason, the 2 dogs we have, we've been blessed that they trained themselves to only crap in the woods. So we never have to pick up the yard. So now I'm in the middle of a conference call for work, and I see the neighbor's dog wander over and squat in the front yard. And I say, just a second, and I run out of the room, yell at the dog, and the dog will run back to the neighbor's, turn back and like yip at me just to show his disapproval. But I think I'll have him trained by the time I
Yeah,
go
so
back.
you better go get him trained, Bill.
Yeah, that is. I think he'll have that covered by the time he's done there.
It's interesting what you see sitting at home all day watching out your front window.
Oh, I bet. That's why I keep a gun by. Never mind. So Jen, what are your thoughts on? You're a science person. What are your thoughts on this thing? How long do you think we're going to see school again this year?
Here comes the broadcast engineer. Oh,
It's just a guess. I'm just curious.
Do I think he'll go back? I think we'll go back, but I don't think we're gonna leave school when we want to by the end of the year. I cannot imagine them forgiving more than a couple weeks of school.
Right.
so
That was-
it'll be extended into the summer then, you think, a little longer?
I suspect so. I suspect that those half days you see for like final exams and things like that, I think those will probably be gone. And I just imagine it'll just continue on.
Yeah, it'll be.
I don't know how otherwise.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because last year with the polar vortex, we missed 12 days, and originally on the original call that the governor made, it was going to be 3 weeks for us, so that was going to be 15 days. So it gets to a point where you think, man, you got to start making these up at some point, especially if they're not actively doing online education.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's something's got to give. You can't expect teachers to come back in the fall and then catch up for, another month along with the 2 months they're already trying to combat that they lose over summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's totally. It's a tough 45 minutes, and I went and I waited about 20. Now it was kind of interesting because we were all scattered. Everybody was spread out at least 6 feet in the lobby there, and some people came in and they turned around and went outside. And then when they were calling the names, if nobody responded inside, they'd open up the door and holler outside. So they were doing great. I know Wing Doozy actually they ran out of chicken Saturday night, and they had to close Saturday or late Saturday night. They had to close. They had to wait to get chicken in on Monday.
But you're right, though. There's a lot of businesses that'll be affected by it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I ache for some of the smaller local restaurants, where people go to sit and talk. Or even, I think of like Chubby's. It's a bar across the highway here. They've got a great burger. But generally, I can't imagine they're doing a thriving takeout business. In a place like that, I mean, you've got waitresses out of work. You've got the owners that are not taking any income.
Yeah, it warms my heart. One of our, we have Enzo's Pizza out here, which is just a tiny little place, and they posted on their own Facebook page the hours of operation for Colonial Kitchen that they share a parking lot with, and I thought that's great. Like they don't have the same clientele necessarily, but they're both food service providers, so I just thought that was kind of neat.
Oh yeah, it's really cool to see places like that kind of pitching in together and doing their thing. So have you guys had any contact with your neighbors over there at all or not?
Just across the driveway.
Okay. It's always interesting. I wonder how it's going in neighborhoods. We have a lot of walkers in our neighborhood, and I noticed
people out walking.
Yep, they've been walking.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people walking. The kids are still kind of playing outside together sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, the rest of us are all talking maybe out by our mailboxes, which are 20 feet apart or something.
Okay. I think we just lost our stream. I don't know if did we lose it coming in or did we lose it going out?
Going to YouTube, it's just spinning.
Okay.
So I don't know if people on your network maybe are causing it if they're downloading. But we were good for like the first 35 minutes.
That was yours. Where's mine?
Okay.
I'm gonna quick text and make sure.
We lost a lot of people though too. So
where are we at right now on our number?
9 people.
Okay, let's see here.
Well, we'll let the goods go for now.
All right,
we'll try to
we'll
figure
let you
something
guys
out.
go.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Bye,
See ya.
guys. Good
All
chatting
right.
with you.
Go
Make sure
green.
nobody is streaming in the house. Period. We're
Jackie
having
was
connection
watching it,
problems,
so
period.
that might be the issue. I'm not sure.
Should be fine if you're watching. Period.
We're getting the program.
Anybody commenting on it?
Yeah. It says our bit rate's out. It's never a good sign.
Can everybody in the house get off of devices? Question mark.
I think we might be back. Well, I won't know for like 30 seconds because there's that delay.
Oh, that's right.
So whatever we say right now might make it.
So we'll see if we're back on or not.
Yep.
Sweet.
So
You know, what's that?
Clay, has anything been done for this Sunday's sermon at all? Are they trying to do anything for the service?
You know, we're actually getting together. The praise team is getting together tomorrow night.
Okay.
And I know the goal is to record music for the next few services.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was an excellent way to handle it, to get the music together, get it out there. I loved our service Sunday. It was so, like you said earlier, it was so nice to kind of be alone. I mean, to be together alone.
Right.
You know, we're all meeting and worshiping, even though we're not seeing each other.
Yeah.
That was, and Doug's message just,
Oh man.
it kind of blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
In fact, my in-laws, when they heard that I was playing guitar on the interwebs, they said, send us a link to the sermon and send us a link to the service. We'd like to see it. And they actually got back and talked about. I mean, they texted back and said, your pastor's message was it was exactly what we needed to hear.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, that's good. It was very timely.
And what touched me the most was the story about the bus, right? Going
Oh,
down the
yeah.
hill, and the little kid in the back falling asleep.
Yep.
And his response was, "My dad's
My
driving the bus."
my dad drives the bus.
Yeah. That was
Yep.
cool.
That was great.
Yep.
Yeah, really what we needed to hear, I think, given what's going on, especially early on when we didn't know what was happening, and so it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out over time here.
Yeah.
You know, if you from the science end of it, when you look at an exponential growth curve, we are definitely in the growth area yet. So it's going to be interesting to see when that starts to trend out and curve over. Hopefully
Speaking about
soon.
that, you talked about Jackie last week when we were together about her involvement with Calvin and the whole nursing program.
Yes.
How's that working out?
They're working on it. I don't exactly know all the details. In fact, she spends so much time in online meetings and everything right now. Quite often, I think she's just sick of talking about it by the time she gets done. But I know they've had to really restructure everything because for their clinicals, their students can't go to the hospital anymore.
Right.
So how do you teach a nurse to be a nurse when you can't practice nursing? So that's been a real hurdle for them. And I'd imagine even some of what I'm finding with my science, especially when we're doing 7th grade, is very, very hands-on. And it's really difficult to try to replicate that with things that kids have at home. So I've been trying to come up with experiments that still cover the topic that we're doing that kids can pull off at home, which has meant I've shortened some dimensions of it and increased other areas. And
So that means parental involvement.
it does.
Cases,
It
right?
does. I actually had a parent post on her social media that the big stain on her son's science book was due to the baking soda and vinegar in the baggie that went off. So,
Uh-oh.
yep, I figure that's a pass in
All
the
right.
name of science.
All right. Yeah. And is that a disclaimer on your behalf? You're not liable for anything?
Exactly. That's it. I can point to ideas, but it's been interesting. We've been doing learning as usual. I mean, my kids are getting a grade every day, almost every day. They've got homework to do every day, and we continue learning.
Okay.
In fact, I stand up, I pull the screen down here, and I stand up and teach. And I teach just like I'm in the classroom.
Yep.
I even run a PowerPoint, and then I tell kids, you know, we're taking notes on this, so you can pause for a moment if you need to catch up on the notes, and so on. It's been fascinating to see.
We got some questions rolling in.
All right, let's hear a few questions.
First one is from The Claw, Joel Clausen.
Excellent.
Sure.
How much did Walt pay for that placement?
Here we are, coming to church tonight, sponsored by Walt's Crawlers.
Evan Root, we got Evan Root in the background.
Yeah. That's a good point. I actually should contact Walt about that. Have you seen those signs around, Fred? These Walt's
I have.
Crawlers?
I'm not sure where I've seen them.
Well, they put them on little stores. Walt's Crawlers. They sell these crawlers. And we were up north at the cottage, and at the grocery store, little local Bonzers,
Yeah.
just in Scottville, which is east of
Ludington.
Ludington up there. They had a new metal sign on the side of the building, and the wooden sign was laying on the ground. And so said something to them and took it home. So I've got my very own Walt's Crawler sign.
Hey.
You know, maybe we should get sponsors for this.
Hey, maybe we should get Clausen's.
Clausen Construction. We need a banner back here.
Yeah. What do you
What's
think,
it gonna
Joel?
Someone said just like NASCAR. Julie DeVries. They're DeVisser, sorry.
Julie
Says just like NASCAR.
That'd be perfect. We can
Right.
get our different sponsors.
Yeah.
And we got to think about people from church that could sponsor the show.
Oh, I bet you we can find some good spots.
We got another-
Get some sweet swag.
We can
Wear our
probably
different sponsor gear.
I got Evermore Entertainment shirts.
Ready Wings Alstra.
Evermore Entertainment shirts.
Evermore Entertainment. I've got one in the house somewhere. I should grab that.
Does
thing.
everybody know who our broadcast engineer is tonight?
Have we covered that? Let's there he is.
There he is.
Eric's
Eric
right.
Van Dyne.
I was afraid I was going to have to pull a tape measure out there again if
Yep.
you were going
How
to.
far are we, Clay?
Yeah, let me check here. I got a solid 6'2" right now.
6'2". Well, we're farther apart than we've ever been.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Jenny Good has a question.
Oh.
Clay, do you expect a second spike in the positive cases?
This is a fascinating thing that I'm not sure people are thinking about. So we're doing this flatten the curve deal. The issue with flatten the curve, when you look at China, exponential growth looks like that. In China, it swept through there in a month, and the problem was all their hospitals were overwhelmed and they could not deal with the people. What we have going right now is we're trying to take that curve and flatten it. What that really means isn't that any less people are going to get sick. What it means is you're going to spread it out over a longer amount of time so our hospitals and medical professionals can take care of that. My concern is right now, for these 3 weeks, we are all separate. We're all in our own place doing our own thing. So the virus isn't spreading, which is good. However, if all of a sudden we get a green light and go back to our normal activities, we haven't built up herd immunity. There's no vaccination. As I think about it from a science perspective, I don't know why it would not continue to spread and spike again. So it wouldn't surprise me if in Michigan we end up spiking in about probably 2 to 3 weeks based on cases that are out there. And if they begin to relax what we are doing, I wouldn't surprise me to see another spike. And that's an amateur scientist perspective on it. That's a good question.
Fred,
Thanks,
what were you
Jane.
doing today?
What was I doing today?
Anything fun?
I was working from my home office today.
Where's that at?
That's at my house.
Okay.
I was there for a while anyway.
Good.
Who wants to know that?
Oh, based on the picture you showed us.
Oh, you didn't see any picture, did you, Eric?
Well,
I didn't see any picture.
I don't know. We've
You
all
were-
got to get
You were by
exercise in
yourself,
one way or
though,
another.
I was.
Yeah.
I was exercising.
Exactly. We've all got to get out there and get our exercise. That's a part of staying
I was on my
healthy.
lunch hour, by the way.
Am I not on there?
Oh,
yeah,
this one.
Yep, got it. Picture looked funny there for a minute.
Any other questions?
We got any other questions coming in?
Joel says nice camera work.
Oh, our
It is.
cameraman is extraordinaire. He's got it going on over there. That guy's got it covered. Any other questions?
It's going to take 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. It takes
Everybody probably went to sleep.
questions to roll. That could be.
We got 20 people on stream still.
Still.
Oh, nice.
my
21.
21, I thought maybe we'd be down to like 3. And one of them is my wife. And Donna. Is Donna?
Probably with Erin. Yeah,
Yeah.
Erin is. I think she's got it on in the morning.
Yep.
So,
Good. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out.
Jenny DeGood with another question. Any book recommendations?
Ooh, good question. I honestly have been too busy doing schoolwork right now in the last little bit here, but I've got a book in the house called, I think it's called Sapiens. It's a brief history of humankind. It looks at it from the old Earth creationist perspective. Well, actually, the author is actually an atheist, but it's fascinating reading the thoughts on where people came from. It's kind of fascinating, I mean, from the science guy's perspective, kind of fascinating hearing what people think about that. Yeah, that's my, I tend to alternate a purely entertainment book, and then I try to alternate that with a book that's actually good for me. So I figure a mix is good. If I have all that good stuff that's good for me all the time, I'm not going to be ready when the zombies rise up and society collapses. So got to cover all the bases.
Rick asks when the next episode is. So he must enjoy some of the programming.
Ah, that's a good
probably
question.
next Wednesday.
We
Yeah, I
could-
think we could shoot for next Wednesday. We could make this a Wednesday night thing here for a little while. If people in church are enjoying it and watching it,
New guests.
yeah, we'll have to line up some new
Yeah.
guests and get in touch with
Yeah.
people and see how they're doing.
We're not sure if we can have a guest yet. We might not have enough room to be able to keep us all 6 foot apart.
Yeah, that's true. We'd have to put a stool back further. We could stream more guests, get some people in there.
Yep.
Be interesting to see who we can bring in.
Yeah, we might have a surprise guest. We've got somebody in mind, but we want to make sure that we're doing everything up to code.
Exactly. We want to try to keep it as good as possible. And while maybe not essential, if you look at the CDC guidelines, doing what you need to do church and to do church well, that is actually okay. That's something I've noticed that's a little different from the actual federal CDC guidelines. Like getting people together to put out a church service, things like that, according to the feds, they think that's a good use, right? Because that's building community, and building community is really what we need at these times. I think when we're separate.
That would be
So
considered essential.
exactly.
Jason Agar says, are you participating in the 8 p.m. driveway prayer time?
I'm not sure what the 8 p.m. driveway prayer time is.
I've not heard of that either.
No, I'd like to know. I'd like to hear more about that.
Well, Jason, next Wednesday we will have you as a guest, and you can tell us about it.
That's a great idea. I think we ought to do that. I'd love to hear what's going on with that. That sounds fantastic.
Julie DeVisser with another question for Clay.
Yep.
When is the next Survivalist PSA?
Ooh, I'll try to put out a survivalist PSA tomorrow. For those of you not on social media, I've been every once in a while posting a public service announcement from the amateur survivalists. So I'll see if I can't get another one out tomorrow.
Rick says, Fred, What are you reading these days?
Well, number one on my reading list is How to Pray, a book that we've been studying with our book club.
I've actually set it aside because I don't want to get. I feel like I'm cheating if I read ahead in it.
Yeah,
So.
I have read a chapter ahead, but yeah, it's kind of on standstill right now because we really haven't been able to meet as a group, and we tried to do a little bit of social connection last week, and that worked with a couple of guys, but certainly not quite the same.
Yeah, and that's kind of where this arose from, actually. We talked about meeting with a larger group at church.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hawks must say Nathan wants to be a guest star each week. He loved it.
Ooh, we may have to set Nathan up. That might be kind of our youth correspondent.
Well, he could always start the broadcast off, too.
Ooh, that is excellent. Nathan, so if you're still watching, next week you are going to open the show. So you need to have something that's prepared, some type of announcement, or tell us what's going on, or something that's going on, maybe with church or something that you saw. You're going to start our show next week.
All right.
That sounds like a great idea. Get a youth correspondent to open the show up.
I've got a question for both of you separately.
Yes.
We have. Oh, Jason has another one, but I'll get to his in a second. If you had the best cut of steak, how would you prepare it? We'll have Fred go first. Unless you don't grill.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a medium rare.
People want to know about meat cooking.
Medium rare.
Oh, Fred, give me an Air 5. Yes.
But like grill, pan fry, oven,
grill.
seasons.
Grill. Yeah, I don't need a lot of seasoning, actually.
Okay.
I like it pretty just simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, medium rare. Ribeye, bone in. Love bone in. I love chewing on a bone.
Where's your meat spot to pick it up?
You know, I'm not too particular. Actually, we'll pick up meat about anywhere. Even at Meyer when it's on sale, they got good meat from what we can tell.
Yeah, that's a great question. We are meat brothers. It's kind of awkward to say out loud. I am the same way. I like my medium rare. If I were to put together the ideal steak, the ideal cook on my own, I would take a nice big old bone-in ribeye or even a porterhouse, and I would take that thing and I would salt and pepper, and I would take it and I've got a sous vide. I would put it in the sous vide, run that thing up to about 125 or 130, probably for about 40 minutes or so. Then I'd get the grill, charcoal grill, rip roaring. I'd throw some hickory on that thing, get it smoking, slap it on there for a good final sear, and take that thing in.
Yep. See, if you
Down it with
want a good
nice glass of Merlot.
Clay's your guy. I'm a little more simple than that.
Oh, that would be in the perfect world. As it is, it's usually stuck on absolutely charcoal, absolutely medium rare.
All right.
Rick says now he's hungry. Me too.
Maybe we should have a grilling segment at some point here if this keeps up.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? We'll just have food, but maybe we'll just bring some food in.
Ooh, that would be excellent.
I'm sure a restaurant around here would give us food to, display.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we have
Do this with Wing Doozy.
Wing Doozy.
That would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'll have to.
you probably know them over there, don't you?
I do. They know me by name, actually. As soon as I walk in the door, one of the people that works behind the counter always pulls a cup out and gives it to me so I can go get a pop while I'm waiting for my order to get ready there.
There you go.
So it's kind of fun.
Did you say Jason had another question?
He just says people are encouraged to gather at their driveways at 8 p.m. to praise the Lord and pray. Heard this through South Christian.
Interesting. I'm going to have to give that a whip.
Yeah.
Well, depending on the weather. It sounds like it's supposed to be kind of nasty tomorrow night, but I'm going to have to step out in the driveway at 8 o'clock and see if anybody else is doing that. Whether they are or not, I should do it. But that's pretty cool.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, that's good to know. I did not know that. I've not heard that. So after an experiment I tried, you take a chuck roast, which is generally a pretty tough piece of meat.
Yeah.
You throw that thing in the sous vide for about 3 hours, tenderize it, get it in a good rare, medium rare, and then you slap that thing on the grill with a really hot sear too.
It can be 3 hours and still be medium rare?
Yep, because I did not know this before I got a sous vide, but The doneness of meat is a temperature. It is not a time.
Okay.
So if you take a piece of meat and put it in a 125 temperature, it will be medium rare the whole time. Actually, that's going to be closer to rare.
Wow.
So it's a fascinating thing that I've learned from doing some of that. I am a fan of cooking meat many different ways. Smoking meat, not crazy, but just kind of enjoy.
You got a smoker?
I do. I have it's a real basic. It's a Weber Smoky Joe. It's a charcoal smoker that you're controlled by opening air vents and stuff. There's no digital control, nothing special. But if you've got a few hours to sit around, if you're going to be there, make some
We
nice
might have
meat.
to take a tour around your man cave next week.
We could do that. It'd be kind of fun. Show my mess. I have to clean up a little bit, probably.
You have to have your roving camera here.
Yeah.
We can do that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually working on my boat next door. It's got a trolling motor on it. New one.
This could be like a 2-hour show today, or what?
I don't know. What do we got? Oh, we're well past 8:30.
We just crossed the 1 hour mark.
All right.
Cool.
People are just saying that's great. Thanks for doing this. Jenny says shows to binge.
Ooh,
Do you have any
shows
shows
to
to
binge. Jack Ryan, if you're an Amazon person.
Okay.
If you like if you've seen the Jack Ryan movies from back when, it used to be Harrison Ford was the guy. Now it's, what's his name from The Office? Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes me a long time to turn Jim into Jack Ryan. But anyway, Jack Ryan is a fantastic streaming show on Amazon if they've got that.
Okay.
You have any you enjoy, Fred, or not? Are you not a streamer?
Not a streamer.
Good.
No.
Nothing wrong with
I
that.
haven't. Not on Facebook either. Believe it or not.
Ah!
Can you imagine
Again,
that,
there's
Clay?
nothing
Can
wrong
you
with that.
imagine that?
I,
How many people do you know that are not on Facebook?
I know a few, and I'll tell you, I think sometimes, depending on your personality, I think it's very healthy not to be on there. I think sometimes it can be because let's face it, people only ever put the best things that are going on in Facebook, right?
Even you?
For the most part, yeah. My Facebook is more of I try to make it enjoyable and humorous with a touch of science.
Right.
But like I didn't put on there that last night at our house, it was pretty rough all the way around,
Yeah.
right? But this is what
Peppers were flaring a little bit.
yeah, this is what living in a fallen
Right.
world is.
Right.
Even with your
When
family.
And when
It's
you're
not
together
perfect all
that
the time.
much, right?
Yep, exactly. We're all trying
Are
to
you
figure it out.
around now with this order, right? You're pretty much around
Yeah.
most of the time.
In fact, I made a joke at dinner that I think I was the only person that laughed, but I asked my family, so what are you guys doing tomorrow? Nobody else thought it was as funny as I did, but let's face it, if you laugh at your own jokes,
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good.
How about you, Eric? How are things going at work for you?
Still going at it.
Got to go to the office?
Yeah.
You're essential, right?
Technically, no, but the MICPA is trying to write a letter to the governor and saying that what we do is essential, especially with all the small business loans
Yeah.
coming up, and they need personal financial statements if they're a small business, or monthly financial statements if they're a business.
Yep, makes sense.
And there's a lot of unknowns still. The big thing too, making us still work is Michigan has not extended their due date for tax returns.
Right.
It's still April
And they've
15th.
got to get it done. That's
Yes.
not which to me automatically makes you essential.
Yep.
If they're not going to move the due date,
Yeah.
it has to get done.
Yep.
You've got to have people to do it.
Yep.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, should we wrap it up? Call
Yeah,
it a
I
good
think
hour
so.
here, and
Try getting some people falling asleep. I think.
Yeah, we're down to 14 viewers.
Oh,
okay. All right,
All right, well, hey,
we'll hit
it's
it.
been a lot of fun.
It has. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We'll be back next
Yeah.
week, same bat time, same bat channel,
And thanks again to Eric Van Dyne, our
Absolutely.
broadcast engineer,
running the
who
show.
put this all together. 'Cause otherwise, again, we're just the eye candy.
Have a good night, folks.